We return with learning how to perform a protection ritual that will keep you protected in the astral realm. If you didn't watch part 1 yet, make sure to check it out as it will explain the theory behind the astral plane. There are many magical systems and whatever works for you is fine, but the most commonly known ritual is called the Lesser Banishing Ritual of the Pentagram, and it is well known in occult circles. In order to simplify this ritual and make it more digestible for the masses, I have made slight alterations. Reason being is because the language is Hebrew and one must know Kabbalah in order to have all the right associations. This is the ritual given to neophytes for beginning to train with astral senses. Make sure you have a space to perform in. You don't want to work in a cluttered room. If a bedroom is all you have, then just try to clean things up or maybe put down a square blanket for creating a separate space. Here you can set up your altar and small walking space. Try to have a clear idea where east is so you can begin the ritual in the correct direction. First, begin with a ritual bath or ritual cleansing. This can be symbolic or literally by just taking a shower. Rinse yourself off, get the dirt off, and get prepared as you would for any significant event. Visualize all the negativity and doubts wash away as you soak in the water. Now get dressed in attire that is quite different than what you normally wear. It's obviously kind of weird in the modern day to be waving a wand and a robe, but we can adjust these ancient motifs as we progress with a new magic for the new age. The ancients and the occult orders wore robes, but of course that is up to yourself for what you feel is appropriate. Everything in the ritual has some sort of significance, from the clothes to the actual magical instruments themselves have divine and archetypal symbology integrated within the art and design of each object. A dagger is not the air dagger, but one must use a ritual dagger specifically for this ritual. For your final preparation, take a few deep breaths. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Prepare your mind for the experience of holy energies. Sit in a chair that is facing east. Do the relaxation ritual from earlier with the golden sphere. Now take your dagger and know that you are about to be in the presence of God. Stand up and begin to visualize yourself growing larger and larger. Imagine yourself becoming so large until you grow out of your room, and then the visual continues where you can now see the city below you, the clouds, space, and now heavens. Now that may differ depending on your cosmology, but just imagine yourself growing so large that you basically become one with light itself. Now that you have reached this great light, imagine this white light above your head, a limitless brilliant white sphere of light floating above you. Take your dagger while you are still standing and point to the spiritual sphere. Now bring it down by touching your forehead just above and between the eyes with the dagger and vibrating, "Thou art." Bring the dagger firmly down to your body until you are pointing towards the ground. As you do this, visualize a bright beam of light coming down from your head that moves down through your body and out, continuing beneath the earth. As you do this, vibrate the kingdom. Now bring the blade up to your right shoulder. As you do this, visualize the powerful white light that runs down the center of your body. Begin to project a beam from the heart area out to your right, past the blade out to your right shoulder. See this beam extend to the end of the universe and beyond. Focus on this beam and vibrate the power. Move the point of the blade horizontally to your left shoulder. As you do, visualize the beam of white light now extending through infinite space to your left. As you focus on the light, vibrate, and the glory. Clasp your hands at your chest. At the point covered by your folded hands, visualize a brilliant golden glow. Vibrate the words, Amen. In Hebrew, you would vibrate Ata, which means you, or more poetically, thine in Hebrew. The visualization of properly pointing the dagger or finger is for the purpose that you are indicating that you are linking your higher self with the divine. The kingdom of Malkut in Kabbalah represents the physical material plane. That is why you should be pointing down. The power and glory are called Vigabura and Vigadula. Amen actually has a secret meaning. The Lord's Prayer does not occur in the first instance of the prayer in the Bible. It does appear in later instances. Is this proof that the early Christians knew the secrets of Kabbalah? Now for many, ancient Hebrew may be extremely foreign, but there are many systems. This is just the most developed Western system that we have today. And I agree there should be some updates, but for the most part, this next section you will need to be able to draw these pentagrams as vivid as you can for each direction. As you draw the pentagrams, remember, we're going to be banishing, so we need to do it with a specific direction. The Hebrew method vibrates specific holy names of God as you draw these pentagrams, such as Adonai, Eheye, or Yod-He-Vav-He. You can use your own names, or just imagine that as you are creating this flame, that you are using the energy from this divine source. Begin with the east, and draw out the blue flame pentagram and establish this connection between the divine and your higher mind. This is the air element. Turn to the right 90 degrees, and continue the process of banishing through the pentagram. Now at the south, begin with the next pentagram, the fire element. Draw the pentagram for the west, the water element. And lastly, you will finish with the north, the earth element. You should vividly see each pentagram flaming from each direction without any distortion. Now we must evoke the archangels, for they are what truly cleanses an area rid of parasites. These archangels are manifestations for the elements themselves. Now face east where you started and begin to channel the angel of air, Raphael. Visualize before you a figure on a hill in front of you. The figure is dressed in yellow robes, which have some purplish highlights. The figure carries a caduceus wand, Mercury, or Hermes. The more associations, the more powerful the experience and magic will be. You should feel a breeze coming from behind the figure. Say, visualize a figure behind you, dressed in blue with some orange highlights. The figure holds a cup and is surrounded by waterfalls. Try to feel the moisture in the air. Visualize a figure dressed in scarlet with green highlights. The figure holds a flaming sword, and you should feel the heat coming from this direction. To your left, visualize a figure dressed in greens and browns on a fertile landscape. The figure holds some beautiful flowers. Now visualize a pentagram forming all around you and say, "For about me flames the pentagram." Visualize a golden hexagram, a six-pointed star behind you, and say, "And behind me shines the six-rayed star." What you have done is cleanse the area by bringing down the tetragrammaton. This is your tool against all evil. It's the goal of the magician, the mastery of the grossly elements. The four corners of the higher principles themselves are within you, and you just brought them down to a level where you can actually experience them. For the beginner, this is all taking place in the mind or the imagination, but what you're actually doing is pulling these extremely high aspects of your own consciousness down into your lower mind. This must be done before all magical rituals, and that includes astral projection. Those who do not possess the proper tools before entering the astral plane are increasing their chances for being controlled by something that does understand the nature of this realm. If you are there by mere repetitive exercises, I would urge you to master this art first of discipline and projection first. This is not even the astral projection part. For most of you, you have been using astral senses, but your consciousness is still in your physical body. That's why you must trust that these exercises are actually making a difference for now, until you develop the skills to experience that truth directly. Remember, people separated from society and dedicated years to practicing these occult arts. Some people are naturals and have an easier time with visualization. Whatever the case, have a clear goal of what you are trying to achieve. If you just want to learn this so you can get what you want and manifest some money or something, you'll either fail or make things worse. In time, you will see the benefits of this art, and you must practice these techniques with great responsibility, as a great power is contained herein. If this is still scary to you for some reason, Jesus clearly references astral projection and navigating different planes of consciousness in the Gnostic Gospels. The Gnostics laid out this realm using these abilities. They weren't black magicians or evil sorcerers. No, they simply were trying to understand the realm they lived in. Now before we go over the ritual for astral projection, I want to make it clear that by no means is this an introduction into magic or the occult. The training for the magus is quite extensive, too much to cover in a single video. Plus, I have to constantly assess what is the best way to present this material. It must be compressed, so I just want to make that clear. That's it for this video. Part 3 will be the practice part of this series, and we will begin looking at exercises to induce astral projection. Thank you all so much for the support, and if you have time, check us out on IG and Facebook. Maybe send us a message. And if you can, tell your friends about us, because it seems that many are still not getting notifications, but all I can hope is that our minds may be unveiled.
Let go of everything you think to be true. Relax the mind and ask the question, do I truly understand what this reality is?